around education and communication. That needs to change to allow us to have a vision of mixed farming that's delivering ecosystem services is the phrase, but we try not to use that, so the benefits to society that farming could produce better or at all. Policy change needs to support that. We need to have better infrastructure for producers to be able to get local food to local people, small farms as well as big farms. And we need to not necessarily value in economic terms, but understand those services that are provided to society by sustainable land management and factor them into our valuation of their system, because I don't think they currently are. Interestingly, we're talking about farming, and the crux of the matter didn't come down to how you plough or grow cows or such like. It was, as I suspect all the other groups are saying, it's around increased understanding amongst local people and producers about what local can do for you personally, and making that message one that isn't top down, isn't preachy, isn't you must do this and you must do that, but understanding that by doing or following such a course of action, you are actually benefiting yourself health-wise and also benefiting society in any number of other ways. The second point was that we had to understand and communicate better amongst ourselves and outside of the usual groups that we talk to. As I said, we have to make that message personal. And we have to take personal responsibility for doing it as well. We can't just talk about it. We've got to go away ourselves as individuals and buy more local food, and we've got to be able to talk about it in a way that is engaging to others in a non-condescending manner. One of the analogies used amongst the group was that there's been talk about this sort of thing going on for decades almost, but actually that's just putting down the roots of a movement, and people are feeling at this point in time that it's at a stage where things will start to flourish. The risk is that the heads might get chopped off by policy, big policy from government, where priorities are not around localism, it would seem, and also supermarkets and economic drivers that are beyond our control. But people feel that local, organic in name and nature, that movement is in a position to flourish. The other thing was that a future might look different to what we've got at the moment, and I think there has to be some sort of understanding that chocolate box landscape that we have out there at the moment might not be accommodating to what the future throws at it, and it needs to be adaptable, and it needs to be a living and working landscape, and that will probably mean change, and we have to be in a position to accommodate that change. The insight that I got from that group is, again, we were talking about farming, a system, about ploughing and growing crops, and milking cows, etc. But the actual discussion wasn't around that. It was around a much broader set of principles that we all need to be doing, and both sides of that argument, so the Land Workers Alliance and the NFU, are in agreement that we need to be talking in a way that people feel comfortable about buying local food, don't see it as a luxury, it's accessible to them, policy supports that sort of work. And if that can happen, then people that you would assume to be on opposite sides of the story can work side by side.